Hello everyone, this is Dr. Neha Gupta from Giggles Clinics and my own space. Hope you're all safe and sound in this lockdown. And talking of lockdown, it has brought a lot of changes in our lives. बहुत सारी चीज़ें बदली हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हमें पता चली हैं. A lot of things have changed, and perhaps one of the biggest change that has happened is the introduction of online classes. And at वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम हम सब ने एज पेरेंट्स ये प्रॉब्लम ज़रूर फेस की है कि बच्चा रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहा, बैठ नहीं रहा, वो अटेंड नहीं करना चाहता, या वी आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद द परफॉर्मेंस. सो हम कैसे बच्चों को ऑनलाइन क्लासेस के लिए प्रिपेयर करें, हाउ शुड दे पे अटेंशन. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दैट टुडे, हाउ टू प्रिपेयर द किड्स फॉर द ऑनलाइन क्लासेस एंड व्हाट टू डू सो दैट दे पे प्रॉपर अटेंशन. So for that I will be dividing the topic into 3 parts. What you should be doing before the class, what you should be doing during the class, and what you should be doing after the class. So very quickly let's start. So when we talk of before the class, हमें क्लास से पहले कुछ चीज़ों का ध्यान रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है ताकि बच्चा उस क्लास में आराम से बैठ सके और अटेंड कर सके उसे. Now, before I go into the topic, for attending or for paying attention for a certain amount of time, we need to have an optimal arousal level. अब हमारे बच्चे कुछ एक optimal level होता है. Now that I'm talking to you, say for 15-20 minutes, तो आपका और मेरा attention continuously चल रहा है, and we are paying attention to each other, taking forth the conversation. बट फॉर सम ऑफ आवर किड्स व्हाट हैपन्स कि वो ऑप्टिमल रेंज से या तो राइट साइड में होते हैं, आइदर दे आर ओवर अराउज्ड मतलब दे आर ओवर एक्साइटेड, ओवरवेल्म्ड, दे नीड इनपुट टू काम देमसेल्व्स डाउन एंड ब्रिंग टू द ऑप्टिमल जोन. या हमारे कुछ बच्चे अंडर अराउजल जोन में होते हैं, उसमें कि मतलब दे विल अपीयर लेथार्जिक एंड दे नीड टू बी गिवन इनपुट ताकि वो थोड़ा सा स्टिमुलेट हो और ऑप्टिमल अराउजल जोन में आए. नाउ ड्यूरिंग द क्लास विच स्ट्रेचेज ओवर 30 to 40 minutes, दिस अराउजल लेवल्स कीप्स डिपिंग डाउन एंड अप. तो वो एक कॉन्स्टेंट लेवल पे मेंटेन नहीं हो पाता, स्पेशली फॉर आवर किड्स. न्यूरोटिपिकल्स में नॉर्मली ये प्रॉब्लम ज़्यादा नहीं आती है. दे आर एबल टू मेंटेन दैट अटेंशन और द अराउजल लेवल फॉर दैट स्पैन. और अगर वो नहीं भी कर पाते हैं तो दे आर वर्बल. यहाँ पे वर्बैलिटी का बहुत प्रॉब्लम आ जाता है कि बच्चे हमारे इतना लैंग्वेज उनका स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं होता है टू पुट अक्रॉस थिंग्स, टू पुट अक्रॉस व्हाट दे फीलिंग, तो वहाँ पे भी एक इशू आ जाता है. नेवरदलेस, सो न्यूरोटिपिकल्स कैन रेगुलेट themselves and bring back to themselves to the optimal arousal zone easily as compared to our kids. So हमें उनको ध्यान में रखते हुए उनको हमें बीच में या तो कुछ स्टिमुलस देना पड़ता है सो दैट दे कम टू द ऑप्टिमल अराउजल जोन. सो दिस इज़ वन थिंग वी नीड टू कीप इन माइंड कि अगर मेरा बच्चा उस टाइम रेडी नहीं है या वो नहीं कर पा रहा तो उसका अटेंशन लेवल कहाँ है, उसका अराउजल लेवल कहाँ है, क्या कम है या ज़्यादा है. तो मुझे ज़्यादा को कम करना है या कम को ज़्यादा करना है सो दैट ही रीचेस दैट ऑप्टिमल जोन. सो व्हाट शुड आई बी डूइंग बिफोर द स्टार्ट ऑफ द क्लास? So the first and foremost thing is you need to know what is the sensory needs of the child. So talking of sensory needs of the child, ये अगर आपको पता होगा कि what is the sensory need of your child, you can prepare a customized sensory diet for the child which is to be given just before the class. अगर एक बच्चा over aroused state में है, so we will give him more of calming activities, more of proprioceptive input. See, there are few things that are common, लेकिन हर बच्चा उस पर रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करता है और हर बच्चा उस पर पॉजिटिवली भी रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करता है. So if I am giving a compression to one child, gym ball compression or some massage or anything, to, a deep pressure to some child, and he is becoming calm after that and he is having good attention in the class, it's not necessary the other child will also respond in the same way because his sensory system is entirely different. So we need to know ki what is the need of our child, what do I need to do for my child so that he can maintain his attention span, if not for 40 minutes, at least for 30 minutes. Okay, so those kind of activities have to be given, whether he needs to be given the activities that will stimulate him and increase his arousal, or the activities that will calm him down and decrease his arousal. So before the class, we need to make sure to give that 10 to 15 minutes of sensory diet meant for the child. If you're not sure what to do, please check with your therapist and they will let you know what to do before the class. Okay, so first thing to be taken care of is the sensory diet of the child. Second thing is, of course, the child should be well fed and well rested. If he did not have a good night's sleep, there are pretty good chances that he's not going to pay attention in the class. Or if he did not have his breakfast and he sat down directly for the class, so he will lose his attention. Any child would lose his attention if he is not well fed or well rested. So if you think कि बच्चे ने breakfast नहीं किया है, join the class 10 minutes late. It's okay. But make sure that the child eats. And if the child is not rested well, maybe you can skip that class, or maybe you can talk to the teacher, or you can put the camera off and listen what is happening. But these two factors, they are very, very common, but sometimes they become the whole sole reason for the child not paying attention in the class. The other thing that we need to take care of before starting the class is the seating and the environment. So try कि आप जिस भी room में class कर रहे हैं, that should be as much distraction free as possible. No flashy lights, no TV or anything in the background. There shouldn't be people moving around. There shouldn't be any window जिससे बच्चा बाहर देखे और distract हो सके. So a simple plain room जहाँ से आप एक quiet corner समझ लीजिए. So a quiet corner where you can put the table and the child can pay his entire attention to the class without being distracted to what's happening in the surroundings. So this is about environment. About the seating, so try that the child should be as stable as possible. So a big chair where the legs are dangling is not a good idea for the classes. जितनी stable body होगी, उतना ही ज़्यादा attention होगा. So try to make it very comfortable and stable for the child. So if the feet are dangling, put a stool or put a box or anything beneath the feet, or try that he can sit cross-legged, but definitely not on the bed. So prefer a table and a chair जिसमें वो उसके feet can touch the ground and he can be seated very comfortably, and he can have a proper posture to write. A proper posture, proper seating adds on to the attention a big deal. I've personally seen the difference if my son is taking class on the bed and if he is taking on the table chair. There is drastic increase in the attention level if he is seated on the table and chair. So it is very, very important that we give them proper seating and proper environment. And the last thing that we need to take care before the classes is to prepare the child beforehand. Most of us, we get monthly planners, or if we are not getting it, talk to the teacher what is going to be covered in the week. So get the weekly topics and prepare the child beforehand. It is always a good idea to stay one step ahead of the rest of the children so that coping up is not a problem, and this gives a huge confidence boost to the child. So when you know that you might not know tomorrow exactly what topic is going to be covered, but you can get what is to be covered in the entire week. So हम थोड़ा थोड़ा बच्चे को prepare कर सकते हैं for any topic that's going to be covered. So when that topic comes, it is not entirely something new thrown on his face. उसको पता होगा, he will feel confident, he will be able to answer better, attend better. So try that you can prepare the child a little in advance and a little ahead of other kids, so that the attention and the response is definitely better in the online classes. This was about what we should do before the class. Now that the class has started, what should you be doing? So during the class, it is very, very important that child should be given the breaks. If you're talking about younger kids, let's say 6 years or less, so they should be given a break in between the class. So if the class is of 30 minutes or 40 minutes, so in between you can give them 1 or 2 minutes break to just have a walk, drink water and come back. For the older kids, give them the control to ask for the break. So you can prepare a placard, or you can prepare some sign like thumbs up or thumbs down, and they can tell the teacher, and you can communicate it to the teacher that if my son or my daughter is saying thumbs down, so that means I need a break. Or if he shows you some card, that means I need a break. So give that required break to the child. Or you can give some control to the child if he wants to switch off the camera for a while, if he wants to switch off the voice or put it on mute for some time. Allow the child that, because if he's recognizing his sensory need and that he's entering into a sensory overload zone, please acknowledge and respect that and allow the child to take a break at that point of time. Nothing is going to be missed in 5 minutes, no big deal. You can attend, let the child take the break and come back. Okay, so the next thing that we can take care of is not to pressurize the child to perform in the class, or rather not to over pressurize the child to perform. So obviously we all want कि बच्चे perform करें class में, respond करें अच्छा, but this whole thing is new and overwhelming for them. And on top of that, sometimes we get very frustrated that you know this topic, why are you not saying it, bolo, 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 and in turn we transfer our frustrations and our anxieties to the child. और वो बच्चा बहुत ज़्यादा anxious हो जाता है, and even if he knows it, he will not be able to respond. If I know an answer, but सामने से if somebody is like, say, you know it, you say it, quickly, and I'll go blank. Most of us go blank. So the child is obviously, he will also go blank. So we have to lift off that performance pressure from the child, that it's okay. If you're not able to perform in this class, it's okay. We know you know the topic, so it is not the end of the world if you're not going to respond in this particular class. Let the child calm down. You know it deep down, he knows this thing. It's just that he's not able to perform. There are so many examinations. We know a lot of things, लेकिन सारे exams अच्छे नहीं होते. We do not get good marks. It's okay. So we need to relax as parents that it's okay if the child is not able to perform in that particular class. Let it go. When you lift off the performance pressure, the child becomes greatly relieved and becomes confident that okay, whether I'm answering or not, it's okay, I'm acceptable. I am not feeling like कि पता नहीं what have I done, I've lost the acceptability, because unknowingly we become very upset, we become disappointed, and they get that vibe that I have made my mother or my father or my parent upset by not responding. So lift off the performance pressure from the child. Gradually you will see that there's an automatic improvement in the performance, but first we need to lift off the pressure. What else can we do? So when the teacher is giving a certain command, wait. Do not jump in to repeat the question. Do not jump in to give the prompts. Let's just see what the child will do. At least give him some 10, 15, 20 seconds to respond. Most of our kids have slow processing. Some have auditory processing issues. Some have visual issues. So we need to give them time to assimilate the information, interpret it, and then reply. So if the teacher is giving a command, I'm sure she will wait that much time for 20 seconds or 30 seconds to get that response. And if she's not waiting, please convey to the teacher that my child takes a little time to respond, so kindly wait for 20 to 30 seconds and give him that much time to give the answer. So this is your duty to convey to the teacher that please be a little patient and wait for hardly 20-30 seconds. Is not going to make a difference to the teacher or the parent, but it's going to make a huge difference to the child. And if the child will give the answer on the teacher's command on his own, there will be a big boost in his confidence levels. So don't try to jump in immediately, repeat the question. He will become very much prompt dependent, because unless he hears the mother's voice or the father's voice repeating the question, I'm not saying it. I don't know what the teacher said. I'm not habituated to listening to the teacher, because it is always the parent who is giving me the command. So take a step back, give him time, let him process. It's okay. Go a little slow. So if after 30 seconds you see that the child is still not able to, then you can start with a verbal prompt, and then there's this prompt fading also. But initially, if you need to, then give the verbal prompt, that too in short keywords. That if the teacher has asked what is the capital of so and so country, so anything, USA. So USA capital. Let the child respond. If the child has heard the question, he has heard the question, take the prompt less. So this is just your prompting, lip prompt. Or you can just give a gestural prompt. A tap. Sometimes even a tap is enough to get their attention back. They have heard the question, they just need to respond and waiting for the prompt from you. So gradually fade off your prompt from verbal to gestural to a little tap, and maybe nothing else after that. So wait and fade off the prompts gradually. Please do not jump in to fill in the questions for your son or your daughter. Give them time. It's okay. Gradually they will come up to it. They will not listen for maybe 1 month, 2 months, but keep fading your prompts gradually in this 2 months duration, so that after 2 months or 3 months we are seeing that the child is able to answer or listen or respond to at least 60 to 70% of the commands of the teacher. So the other thing that we can do is not to share the screen space. So it is his class or it is her class, not your class. So give him that freedom or that independent space, the private space, personal space to attend the class. You want to sit, please do. Sit on a little side so that you know what is happening. But don't sit just next to him or her and share the screen space or the personal space so that it feels like it is actually 2 people who are taking class together and not the child. So give him that thing and wait, be very, very patient. See what he's doing. Give him time to do things. Let him absorb things. This is all a gradual process. These things do not happen overnight. So maybe in one kid you will see a change in 1 month, in the other kid you might see a change in 4 months. But eventually every child has to go through this process, and we don't know how long the online classes are going to be. So it's better that we also adapt and we also let our kids adapt. कि अगर हम 2 मिनट के लिए उठ के चले गए हैं तो it is not that कि class बंद हो जाएगी, he will log off the session, he will do something कि session ही बंद हो गया. He should know that it's my class going on and I am responsible for it. So that responsibility, that control should be in the child's hand, that it is my class. I should know how to mute, unmute. For the older kids, for the very young kids, of course, it's okay. But for the kids who can do it, they should know how can I mute and unmute, how can I switch on and switch off my camera, how can I log out of the class, how can I ask for the break. So shift the control from your hand to their hand so that it becomes their class, not our class. Okay? So it's very important that they take the responsibility for their class, that it is your class, you have to attend, you have to learn. And they do understand that, and once they assume the responsibility of the class, they definitely perform better. Then most often what happens is if they are not able to perform or if they are not able to answer a question, we will just mute and maybe shout on the child or say something we don't mean. So maybe what's wrong with you, you can't recall, you have done this 100 times, I don't know why you go mum at the last moment. It's okay, like we discussed, it's okay. They will start responding. It is more difficult for our kids compared to the neurotypicals to respond to these online classes, and we need to give them that window. Not that give them the leeway that it's okay whether you're doing it or not. No, I'm not saying that. But yes, give them the window to adapt gradually, to give them more time and more space than the neurotypicals so that they adapt to this whole new system. So this is what you can do during the class. Take a step back, give them time to process information. Please do not shout or say anything demeaning. Let them take control. Let them take control to take breaks also, and wait for them to respond. And if they're not able to respond, then give the prompts and gradually try to fade off the prompts. So this was about what we can do during the class. What about after that, or in the whole day, what am I going to do? Now, if the child, suppose, did not answer or did not perform as per your expectation, and the class is over, and the minute Zoom session is down and you will start, what is wrong with you? I have taught you so much, you are not able to perform. Please don't start. Please don't start with a lecture or with shouting or making the child feel really bad or guilty, anything like that. He also knows he's not performed well. So just let it be. Take a deep breath yourself also and give the break to the child also. Talk about it, but later when your mind is calmed down. So not immediately after the class. Immediately after the class, let him eat or drink or do something that gets him relaxed, and you also do something that gets you relaxed. So take a break for 20-25 minutes and then talk about it, that okay, we could not do this, let's see why we could not do this. If the child is not up to the level where he can discuss and understand things with you, then you do the analysis, that what went wrong, why we couldn't do it. And doing that analysis helps, really helps. Why we were not able to do it? Was he not sure? Was he not confident? Could he not hear the teacher's voice properly? Did he answer and his answer did not reach the teacher in time, or did he not answer quick enough? So depending upon that, we need to see what exactly we need to work upon, whether we need to work upon the confidence, whether we need to work on the visual skills, whether we need to work upon the auditory skills, whether we need to work on the conceptual skills. We might think the concept is clear to the child, but suddenly when a question was thrown to him, he was not able to answer. So we need to see where is the lacking area, or if the child is too much prompt dependent, that unless he or she hears my voice and I just tried today not saying anything and he did not respond. So we need to figure out what exactly is happening, why the child was not able to perform, and doing that analysis brings us to a conclusion so we can work accordingly. What else can you do in the whole day to make your classes experience better? So you can work on the core, shoulder and finger strengthening. Core strengthening is directly helping us with increased attention. It gives you a better stability in the body, better posture, that in turn leads to better attention. Also physical exercise helps you in getting those hormones released in your brains which give the feel good factor and helps in cognitive development also. So core strengthening, shoulder strengthening, finger strengthening for the proper posture, for improved handwriting, quick handwriting, for better skills that ways. So work on those 3 areas in particular after the class hours. Then another factor that we need to consider is the visual and the auditory processing. So my child can maybe hear and maybe respond, but when the screen is shared, he is not able to copy. So we need to work on the visual skills of the child. My child can copy, but when the teacher gives a command, he is not able to either interpret or takes too long to respond. So we need to work on the auditory processing. So we have to see what needs to be worked upon and accordingly give the exercises or activities to the child after the class hours, so we can gradually improve our online class experience. What else can we do after the class? Like we discussed, if someday it was not good, then talk it out that we could not do this, let's repeat this and maybe try it in a new way. At the same time, if the child has performed better or if he has done something good, please acknowledge and appreciate it. That in today's class you were very good, and not a general praise, a very specific praise. You did this particular work very nicely and I'm very happy and very glad that you have done it so well, and I'm very proud of you because you have done this thing. Not a general praise, oh you are a superhero, you are amazing, you do everything so nicely. so the child feels that I am something super awesome. Okay, we should just maintain that balance between praise and overpraise. So we should increase the confidence of the child, but not overconfident. So when he faces that disappointment, it does not upset him to such an extent that the whole day he is not able to come out of it or not able to accept it. How can I do it? Why not? We are humans, so we will be doing some things good, we will be doing some things bad. So the child should be prepared to accept if something did not go right, and to feel happy for that particular thing to be right. So be very specific with your praises and your appreciations that you did this thing this way. And last but not the least, conscious and mindful parenting. So we need to be very, very careful of what kind of vibes we are sending to the child, what kind of tone we are using with the child, what kind of words we are using with the child, and sometimes only rephrasing of words can work wonders with the kids. So if I tell him that it is not good, or and if I can rephrase it to it is nice but you can do better, so he might not feel immediately upset or disappointed or lose the confidence. So rephrasing of the words is very, very important, and before saying anything to the child, please take a deep breath, then convey your point politely and nicely what you want to say. So we as parents have to be very careful about what we are thinking, what we are saying. And it's not just that if I'm saying you're a good boy, and deep inside I'm feeling, why are you not doing this? So that good boy is not reaching my child. What I'm thinking inside is reaching my child. Your vibrations work stronger than your words. So think positive and say positive. So mindful parenting is a huge thing, and it's actually not very difficult to implement in the routine life. So if we all start practicing mindful parenting, most of the, not most, but many of the things do get resolved, and the child also has a good confidence level and self-esteem. So this was all about online classes and how we can help our kids perform better and attend the classes better. So I hope this information was useful to you. Have a good day.